number of years back, a friend of mine went to a survival first aid course to prepare for a trip that we were leading the scouts on to the Boundary Waters in northern Minnesota. And so during this weekend that we had of training, we learned all about survival skills, how to make it in the wilderness, how to take care of injuries, puncture wounds, amputation, whatever it was we needed to learn. We kind of acquired some base of knowledge to prepare for this trip. It was required for it. We just got done with our own training here at the church on CPE, how to utilize the AED, the automated external defibrillator, a first aid session. And it was a great training for how to do first aid and CPR here within the life of our church. It was preschool staff and church staff. And it gave me a sense of a little more awareness of how to be a caregiver, protecting the community and being aware. And that was one of the goals the instructor had. She wanted us to feel empowered and also to overcome hesitancy. It's not a bad approach in our life as a community. How do we empower faith, life, relationships, prayer? How do we overcome our hesitancy to grow, to acquire discipline, to pray? When I walk past the AEDs that were generously given by 2 or 3 donors within the church that wanted us to have these, past few months I've walked by them and haven't known how to utilize them. And then you wonder, what's the purpose of having them if nobody really knows how to use them? And now I can kind of walk past. I know that. I know how to do that. I know, and we know how to now respond when there's an emergency. We feel empowered, and we can overcome hesitancy and how to care. So how do we now take that principle and make sure that in our own faith development, in our own relationships, in our own life, we are intentionally empowering both ourselves but also those around us. We're also overcoming hesitancy in our own life and then also helping others around us overcome hesitancy. There's a lot of caution and a lot of fear in our culture in this day and age. And so the Christian community needs to be bold and understand, okay, who are we and whose are we? How are we encouraged to be people of courage, of faith, but also how do we intentionally grow in that faith so we are prepared in and out of season when there is need, when there is opportunity, when there is a chance to do justice, when there's a chance to love mercy and be kind, when there's a chance to walk humbly with our God and one another. Are we ready for it? Or do we feel kind of disempowered and overwhelmed by caution and hesitancy to not necessarily say what needs to be said or do what needs to be done? So as a church, we have this chance while we are apart to yet keep growing. We are invited to keep showing up for worship and making sure that others also are tuning in. We can't be in person, but my hope is that we are intentionally, on Sunday mornings at 10, we are there for our worship experience though apart so we can grow and we can realize we are still connected. Our hope is that you are checking in with one another, those you know and even those you don't know, in a way to help other people, near and far, be empowered and overcome hesitancy. Be at peace, keep growing, know you're loved, and know we are together in this.